Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also, Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So many agonizing speeches from Joe Biden lately. Jeez. I guess they feel like they've got him doped up enough that he can actually carry off some things.
He's out and about, man.
He is. Yeah, he is.
He is out and about.
Quite a bit. And tomorrow, there's going to be a big speech that focuses on the Republicans and the rights they're stealing away from us.
Oh,
that's going to be agonizing.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
oh my gosh, to listen to them talk about the right to an abortion and the right that they're taking away from you to vote. It's going to be tough to get through.
And yesterday was tough. Just as bad,
and
actually.
Yesterday was bad, yeah.
With his gun rhetoric, because no one supports the Second Amendment more than Joe Biden. No one. But.
No one.
But.
Sure, that's true. I'm sure that's true.
We're not talking about taking away your guns. Well, except for those guns.
Oh, yeah. Well, the assault guns, the assault rifles, we've got to take away because what are the deer wearing? Kevlar vests?
Oh, he broke that out again.
Yeah, you did.
He broke that out again. Cut number 2. He breaks out the Kevlar vest story again.
And by the way, how many? My dad used to love to hunt in the Poconos when we lived in Scranton. How many deer bear wearing Kevlar vests? Huh?
No
People
joke.
have heard it so many times they don't even laugh anymore.
No
joke. Yes, yeah, you are trying to joke. But nobody's laughing.
Right.
They've heard it a million times. It was a dumbass line the first time you said it. It's even more stupid now. And he just keeps doing it.
He sure does.
And by the way, no joke, how many deer are wearing Kevlar vests? How many of them? I count only 3. Most of them are naked, but some of them wear Kevlar vests. I think there's 3 that I've counted. A lot of deer just run through the forest naked, though.
They do.
They run naked. So,
which I'm sure he's not opposed to.
I'm sure he's not.
No, he is not.
I'm sure he's not. Then we got the J6 stuff that he had to babble about. Imagine turning on the TV and seeing people storming Parliament. Yeah, wow.
Imagine, Joe, if you turned on the television in Washington, D.C., and saw a mob of 1,000 people storming down the hallways of the Parliament, breaking down the doors, trying to overturn an outcome of election, and killing several police officers in the meantime. Imagine what you'd think.
I can't. Oh, my gosh.
Imagine,
if you will, that happening anywhere. It didn't happen here. So I don't know where he's talking about. Did that happen in Zimbabwe or some other third world nation where they killed a bunch of police officers? Because it did not happen here. It didn't happen. That gigantic lie he keeps telling over and over and over, and killing several police officers with strokes. They gave them strokes and made them commit suicide weeks later. Imagine that. A crowd who makes police officers commit suicide as much as a month later. That's a powerful crowd. Jeez, man.
A seriously powerful crowd.
And of course, the person who was killed there, Ashley Abbott, gets no mention. If they do mention her, they make it like she's one of the cops or somebody.
Yeah.
5 people were killed there. No. 2 people were killed. They were both part of the mob. Okay? Unbelievable. It just doesn't stop, and it's been disproven so many times.
It doesn't matter. We just keep hammering down the lies.
Yeah.
Just keep saying it.
Yep, and that's what they're doing. Just keep repeating the lie. People will believe it. And I guess that's what's happening here.
Well, but if you would just remember in God's name who we are, Pat.
I can't take this guy continually taking the Lord's name in vain. One of the big commandments, and he does it all the time. Let's hear this.
Folks, let's remember who in God's name we are. I really mean it. No. What our values are. What we believe. We the people. That's how our Constitution starts, the Declaration. We the people. It's who we are.
He doesn't even know what document begins that way. That's great. That's how our Constitution starts, our Declaration. Or is it the
thing?
Magna Carta? I don't know. You know the thing. You know the thing. All people are created, and you don't. You know the thing. He's terrible.
Remember in God's name.
That's just awful. Ugh. I mean, that's just bad. Just really, really bad. And it shows you who he is.
Absolutely. And that alone shows you who he is. But then, of course, he has to tell his racist story in Delaware, which is amazing. He gets away with it.
All right.
Attorney General of the state of Delaware. And what he used to do is go down on the east side, what's called the Bucket, highest crime rate in the country.
For the black people.
There's a place where I was the only white guy that worked as a lifeguard down in that area, on the east side.
Pause it for a second.
And you know where you go?
Are you telling me Delaware had the highest crime rate in the nation? I'd like to have somebody fact check that.
Now, let's do that.
Yeah, let's fact.
Because I don't know back what year he's
50,
talking about.
60 years ago, though.
Right.
In where? Wilmington?
Highest.
I mean, come on. It did not have the highest crime rate in the nation. You're going to say Baltimore had a lower crime rate than Delaware?
I will say, now, you could, I don't know where they break those numbers up because when in Saginaw, Michigan, the city that I grew up in, at one point, per capita had the highest murder rate. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but I don't believe it.
Well, it's true.
I don't believe it.
I mean, I lived there. You can play your little silly mean streets of
Helena.
You can play that all you want. But Saginaw, Michigan is the mean streets, my friend.
No way. No way. Over New Orleans and Baltimore and St. Louis. Come on.
Per capita.
Chicago. Come on.
Per capita.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it was per capita. Per anything. All right, let's hear the rest of this. Jeez, this guy is outrageous.
There's a place where I was the only white guy that worked as a lifeguard down in that area, on the east side. Mm-hmm. And you know where you can always tell where the best basketball in the state is and the best basketball in the city is.
Because that's where those people are.
I just laid out a few stereotypes for you here.
There's the only white guy there.
Wow, only white guy. Apparently,
crime.
Basketball. What else can we talk about? I mean, he just left a couple stones unturned, but not very many.
Not very many. Not very many at all.
He is so bad. Jeez. All right, but, when it comes to the Second Amendment, nobody
supports it more than Joe
Biden. Supports it more than Joe freaking Biden.
We took
he wants
on the
to
NRA,
bend.
we're going to take them on again, and we won.
And we
will
won
win again.
No, yeah. All right.
But we're not stopping here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm determined to ban assault weapons in this country. Determined. I did it once before.
Yeah,
and I'll do it again.
Didn't do a good. It didn't do a thing. It didn't do any good. It did no good. I did it before. Okay. He also, there was another spot yesterday where he went off on the NRA.
We beat the NRA. Mm-hmm. We took them on and we beat the NRA straight up.
Straight up.
You have no idea how intimidating they are to elected officials.
What? Get
The NRA
out
was
of
against
here.
it, which means the vast
Get
majority.
out of
vast
here.
majority of
Gosh.
Republicans in Congress couldn't even stand up and vote for it.
Oh, stop.
because they're
Oh,
afraid
my
of the
God.
NRA.
It's not because of the NRA.
It's not unusual. Every Democrats, Republicans, senators, they get afraid of certain interest groups.
No. It's not because of the NRA. It's because of the Second Amendment. The NRA, get out of here. Like they're the big bad boogeyman, the NRA, who pale in spending to all the labor unions, all of the Democrat billionaires who spend hundreds of millions of dollars every election cycle, the George Soroses of the world. But he's got to make the NRA the big bad demonized group. I mean, the NRA, you never even hear about the NRA anymore, except in scandal.
Yeah, I mean they've pretty much been silenced. All
They
around.
have been silenced.
Yeah.
They don't have the money they used to. They don't have the clout they used to. Even when they did, it wasn't what he's talking about. They're not intimidating to anybody. Get out of here. Jeez. The NRA is almost dead on its feet right now. I mean,
It certainly feels that way.
It does. It really does. I mean, they've been immersed in scandals. The things are in disarray at the NRA. So I don't want to hear how they beat the NRA. Ooh, nice. That's what a job you did there.
When you have an organization that's as intimidating as the NRA,
Right.
It takes a lot to stand up to them.
Spends up to $5 or $10 million an election cycle.
A whole $5 or $10 million.
Well, you've got labor unions that are spending $80 million at a time.
I mean,
$100 million.
Our man Mark Zuckerberg spent how many hundreds of millions just to get him elected? I'm sorry, to help the election process.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, throttling down any conservative voice that's heard on Facebook. Twitter did the same thing for them. I mean, how much help did they get from those two?
But the NRA. That's who we should be worried about. That's who we should demonize. Wow. It's hard to take. Then he spotted a little kid in the audience. Unbelievable. Again, I mean, just somebody tell him, Joe.
Stop. Please stop with the children. Stop.
All right, stop it.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. How are you, baby? How old are you?
Oh, jeez.
How old are you? Almost double figures.
And he's going to go over to her. Oh, how old are you, baby?
No.
Please don't call me baby, Joe.
Isn't it double digits, too? I don't know. I guess double figures still works. But
Yeah.
Almost double figures. Just like I like them.
Not quite 10. That's when they're super exciting. I like to smell their hair. Their hair smells really good when they're like 9. He's so creepy.
I know.
So unbelievably creepy.
I know.
And I can't believe why isn't anybody telling him to stop this?
Stop, Joe, please.
Please, Joe, just stop. Stop with seeking out children. Stop it. It's creepy. It's weird. It's not ingratiating
at all.
I don't know anybody who says, what's really cute is when Joe Biden goes up and sniffs little girls and stuff. That's what's really cute about it, isn't it? Isn't that great? When he's hugging on them and kissing them, once in a while pitching their nipples. Remember that? Oh, yeah, that was good.
Love that.
That was really, really good.
Love that. Wish that was my daughter.
Yeah, wouldn't you like that? Well, you'd have a nice little lawsuit going, so you might. I don't know. But actually. So just stop. Stop with the children. Would you please? Please, by all that is holy. Then he called John Fetterman a powerful voice.
Oh, powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful. Big guy. Strong guy.
And by the way, he couldn't be here today. We spoke, Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman. When I say he's a powerful voice,
And Fetterman.
I used to be in the old days a pretty good athlete, and if someone was really big and tough, you say I wouldn't screw with him if I had a sledgehammer.
No.
Well, I tell you what, Fetterman's a hell of a guy. A powerful voice for working people.
Is he?
And he's going to make a great United States senator.
He called him. He said he was running for governor
At one point?
At one point in the day. Yeah, we'll have to find that and get that too, because it's unbelievable. He didn't even know who he was campaigning for.
I apologize for not watching this entire speech.
Oh, it's
yesterday.
too much. It's too much. You can't take it.
I got the alert,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't.
I know.
I can't.
I know.
And I need to. I know I do. I apologize to the audience for not watching the whole thing.
Mm.
But I can't. I get so angry.
Mm-hmm.
I get so frustrated.
I know. I know. He also says he knows what works when it comes to crime.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause,
Do you?
man, has he done a good job on that.
Folks, when it comes to fighting crime, we know it works. Officers on the street who know the neighborhood. Not a joke. Who know the neighborhood.
Not a joke. Who said it was a joke? Why do you do that all the time? We know it's not a joke. Why would that be a joke? Nobody's laughing at you. Why do you have to say that? It's not a joke. I'm not joking.
Nobody thinks
nobody thinks you are. Nobody ever thought you were. You're not funny. Do you think you are? Because nobody, even when you're joking, we don't think you're joking.
Right.
Nobody's laughing because it's too disastrous to laugh about.
You're there to talk about how you're going to take our rights away.
Yeah.
No joke.
No joke. I'm not joking. Yeah. We know. Okay.
Get him out. Get his ass out.
Please.
Oh.
By all that is holy.
Oh.
Please.
Find a way.
All right, let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. When you're trying to sell your home, you know that's a huge challenge. You need a realtor on your side who's going to do a great job for you. Somebody who's going to take charge of the situation, help you make the big decisions like what are you going to spend a bunch of money on, if anything, to get your home ready to sell. You have to repaint it. You have to replace the countertops, make some repairs, change the flooring. These are the people that you can turn to, and they'll help you understand what you're going to get your money out of and what you're not. Real Estate Agents I Trust. This is Glenn's company. And so when you have the kind of agents who work with us working for you, you can rest assured that you're going to be in the hands of a really capable team. Same goes for when you're buying a home. When you choose your agent through Real Estate Agents I Trust, you partner yourself with a competitive winning machine. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
It is. No joke. No joke. He wasn't joking about that. This is Pat Gray Unleashed. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
We got it.
Okay. All right. I just wanted you to know it's no joke. Okay? It's not a joke.
Understand.
All right. So I'm not joking. I don't want you to think I am, because I'm not. Now, so we know what works when it comes to fighting crime, but also guns being the number one killer in America. He makes that point.
He sure does.
I don't know that that's true. Let's hear what he had to say.
Over 48,000 people died from gunshot wounds in 2021 in the United States of America.
That includes suicide,
Over
by the way.
26,000 by suicide.
Mm-hmm.
When guns are the number one killer, listen to this now, the guns are the number one killer of children in America. Of children, and number one.
That's
Over
fact
car
check
accidents?
More children die from
true?
guns than active duty police and active duty military personnel combined. Hear that again? More children in America die from guns than active duty police and active duty military in the United States combined.
I just can't take it.
We have to act.
No.
I could just tell you what, when I search number one killer of children, the first headline that pops up is Biden misleads public. So I'm guessing that number
not
is
true.
wrong.
Right. Right. He always misleads.
Always.
He always lies.
Always.
And he knows he's lying.
100%. Fact check true.
Yeah.
on that. He absolutely
he knows he's lying. And he does it anyway.
Doesn't care.
And he'll repeat the lie over and over. Let me give you that number again. Let me say that again. Let me tell you that lie one more time. And then it's because it's a lie, but it's a powerful lie.
It's a powerful lie. And it reiterates what I want you to believe.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to continue to say it.
Yep.
Oh, okay. No joke.
No joke. We have to act on guns. That's what he had to say.
Oh, we have to. We have to do
More children
something.
die from guns than active duty police and active duty military personnel combined.
So that's the second part.
Hear
Really
that
of
again?
this.
Said
Yeah.
that.
More
No, I don't want to
children
hear
in
it
America
again.
die from
All right,
guns.
we got it. Then
No,
he,
it
Active
goes
duty
on, though.
police and
then he talked about bullet speed. Is that what the speed of a bullet?
Yes.
That what? Superman's faster than a speeding
Yes.
bullet? Or
Yes.
what is the point here? Bullets are fast?
The bullets are
Hey,
fast.
I didn't know that.
But bullets
I
bullets
didn't know
coming
that.
out of a killing machine gun
Let's
are
hear it.
faster than anything.
Oh my gosh.
do you realize the bullet out of an AR-15 travels 5 times as rapidly as a bullet shot out of any other gun?
So, even if that's true, and your point? What, was I going to
you
outrun the
realize-
bullet before?
The bullet out of an AR-15 travels 5 times as rapidly as a bullet shot out of any other gun.
There you go.
And what does that have to do with anything? Now, I could outrun a bullet from a 9mm,
Right.
but if it's shot out of an AR-15, I
You
can't
can't.
outrun it.
Can't do it.
I can't outrun it.
And do it.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, it's just
So
amazing.
weird. What a weird factoid that is. A bullet shot out of a gun is fast, but coming out of an AR-15, it's 5 times faster. Okay, and again, so I can't outrun the AR-15
You're not going to be able
bullet.
to outrun it.
Okay, all right.
Yes, you're not going to be able.
If it was
to
a
outrun
shotgun, I could outrun it.
I mean, that's what he goes on to. I mean, at one point he talks about. Wow, did we have the one where he talks about he has a shotgun? He talks about look, I support the Second Amendment. I got a shotgun, a couple of shotguns, but we have to do something. Oh yeah, that was we have to act. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to do something. Have to do something. That's
always the
clip that
Democrat
we
thing.
cut off.
We got to
Yeah.
do something.
We have to act.
We don't have to do the right thing, but we have to do something.
Yeah.
Let's
Correct.
just do something.
Have to act.
Let's just throw something at the wall and see if it sticks. He thinks he's really on track this time to get the assault weapons ban done.
Yes, he does.
And this goes to show how critical it is. In November, that Republicans gain back the Congress. Both the House and the Senate have to. And I was happy to see this morning, speaking of that Herschel Walker is up by, I think he's only up by 2, but he has been trailing Raphael Warnock in Georgia, but he's up by 2 now. 46% of very likely Georgia voters said they plan to vote for Herschel Walker, while 44% said they would back Warnock and 7% were undecided. How are you undecided at this point? I don't know. I don't know. I can vote for the extreme socialist, or I can vote for Herschel Walker. It's not hard. It's really not hard.
Right.
46-44, though, with 7% undecided. It's really close. Really close. The last Emerson poll in April showed Walker with a 4-point lead, indicating a minor tightening of the race, with Walker still maintaining an edge with the margin of error. The Emerson survey follows a month of data from other pollsters that found Warnock with a small but consistent lead over Walker.
I mean, the Democrats are hanging on. I saw one headline that mentioned briefly that if Warnock were to win, then that puts him on the fast track to be president.
Oh, get out of here. Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that headline. I'm like, God, stop it. I'm not even going to read that.
That's what.
Jeez.
We're on the same page.
Raphael Warnock is going to be president.
No,
No.
that's not going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen.
And yesterday we had the big news that Joe Biden had filed for his reelection to run again, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like, ooh, yeah, no, that was a mistake. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, hey, sorry. I misinterpreted something. They were just changing the form for some new name on the form. Sorry. Sorry for the confusion.
Thank goodness.
I know.
Jeez.
I know.
The poll also showed Republican Governor Brian Kemp ahead of Democrat challenger Stacey Abrams, 48-44. So we got that going for us.
Oh, no kidding. Well, she's governor. Why does she
Right,
care
I
about
know.
this particular race?
I know. Well, it doesn't matter what happens there. She'll claim she won. So that's what she's been doing since 2018. She claims she won that, and she just keeps doing it.
I mean,
so
she has plenty of other books to write.
Right.
To make a little extra cash in her life.
Yeah,
So,
right.
I mean,
right.
Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her.
So Herschel baffled people, I guess, with an answer about his mental health.
I put this on her because I feel like this wasn't that bad, and it was like, okay, well, I mean, that's Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
I feel like he wasn't that bad at all, but I feel like this is this is for Warnock. You know, we're gonna make Herschel sound bad.
You acknowledge that the race is getting ugly, and there are constant attacks levied against you, questioning your mental fitness, among other things. How does that make you feel when that happens, and what is your response?
Well, my response is I've always been very transparent. I've been very transparent, and I will be a champion for mental health because I've helped so many people that had a mental health problem. And I think a lot of families have a lot of struggles with mental health, and I will be a champion for that. And they can continue to bring all this, what they want to do against me, because the people know what I stand for. Herschel Walker is still standing. My bike is not bent, so anyone can ride my bike. Like he seemed to have Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden riding his bike because he seemed to be voting for whatever they say. One thing about me, I represent the people of Georgia. That's the reason I got into this race. It had nothing to do with trying to be a politician, because I'm not. I'm not a politician. I'm not from Washington, and I'm not wanting to be a politician. But right now, I know for a fact the American people and the Georgia people are not bad people. Joe Biden and Raphael Warnock seem to think that we're such a racist, bad country. And I'm saying, no, we're not. You know, we have our problems, but we can solve those problems together. They seem to want to divide us, and I want to bring us together. And that's what they don't like. So they can continue to come after me whatever they want, because sticks and stones aren't going to bother me right now.
Let me ask you, do you have faith that you would have a fair election, whatever the outcome?
I do. I do have a faith. I think the problem that we got to do is we got to continue to tell the people to get out and vote. We got to continue to tell the people to get out and vote. Don't worry about what happened in the last cycle. Let's worry about what's going on right now. What's going on right now, there's a crime problem in Atlanta, Georgia on Raphael Warnock watch. There's an economy problem on Raphael Warnock watch. Right now, we got to get people in Washington that's strong, that be able to stand up to what's happening and be able to vote the right thing, because there's no color in right and wrong. So a fair election, I said, leave that up to me. What I want people to do is get out and vote and make the right decision, and that decision is Herschel Walker.
Amen.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Did you see that Raphael Warnock's income doubled his first year as U.S. Senator?
What?
He doubled.
What?
How did that happen? Wow.
Huh.
That's a lot of speeches, I guess.
Sure
is
is.
that what that is?
Yes.
That's certainly not insider trading. I'm sure of that.
Be silly.
Because that would be illegal. Well, not for senators and Congress people. Never mind. Could well be insider trading. It's unbelievable. It really is.
Pat Gray is here.
Hey, welcome. We've got some tweets here. Let's be frank in Pennsylvania tweets. Compared to what? This is the bullet speed. The bullets out of an AR-15 are 5 times faster. Compared to what? A bullet thrown by hand? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they're 5 times faster than that. So that's really fast. Because, some people could throw a bullet really fast. Like, what's his face? He threw the fastest off-speed pitch in baseball history. Did you see that?
Oh, nice.
100 miles an hour.
Nice.
100.8 miles an hour on an off-speed pitch.
That's doing some distance.
His fastball average is 100 miles an hour. The average speed. That's amazing.
All right. Step up into that batter's box. Get that thing before it breaks.
It's 5 times faster than even Joan Duran can throw a bullet. So there you go. Michael Maridin tweets, "Hey guys, I could tell you're kind of upset about Biden's speech, but rest easy. We all know he'll be fact-checked and corrected by the media. No joke."
Yeah.
Except that is a joke.
I know.
It's not going to happen. Red State Comedy. I guess the point is the government needs to regulate bullet speed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, even if he does get fact-checked, who sees it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll fact-check and call it partially true or
misleading. That was the first one that came up.
They never say he lies.
Audience.
They never say he lies. Almost never. It's asinine.
I know.
All right. It's that time of the week again for time for Chewing the Fat. They're Chewing the Fat theme. And there it is.
Oh, I got this one.
So momentarily, we need to let this play out.
Just start.
In just a second. Momentarily, gotta let this play out. Don't want to disappoint the kids and cut them off early.
No, you don't.
No.
You don't want to disappoint the kids.
Did you know this was on a car commercial? I don't know if you're aware of that, but yeah, car commercial usage.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Isn't that weird?
It is.
Took it right from the show. You stole it from us.
They did. 100%. Oh, man.
All right. Time to chew the fat with Jeffy.
$3 movie tickets are coming. Well, for a day anyway. Theaters want people to put away their Labor Day weekend picnic baskets and see a movie for $3 or less on Saturday. This Saturday, September 3rd, celebration of the first ever National Cinema Day. National Cinema Day.
Things really must be tough at the box office. And they are. The number one movie last week had $7 million.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Right?
Box office receipts.
They're excited. Like they've got all the 3,000 movie theaters are participating in the one-day event. In fact, I've already reserved a couple of tickets at the $3 ticket price for a Saturday movie. But AMC and Cinemark and even Regal Cinemas, who are getting ready to file for bankruptcy if they haven't already, are all part of it. It's part of the new Cinema Foundation. This idea was part of their deal. It's a new nonprofit organization that's affiliated with the National Association of Theater Owners. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a good gig. Mm-hmm. That's a really good gig. Mm-hmm. Right now, they claim that box office numbers are 20% below what they were in 2019.
Oh,
I would think that they were probably
even lower
more
than
that. Yeah. But I mean, they're releasing
it's recovered though quite a bit.
Well, I mean, Top Gun saved them. Top Gun saved them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Top Gun. I mean, there were 3 or 4 movies, big ones that really brought
helped
people to the theater. Yeah,
definitely.
But this weekend, of course, you're going to be able to get Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul.
Really? Is that finally out?
So with Sterling K. Brown and Regina Hall. You've been waiting?
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Yep.
They're re-releasing Jaws.
Oh, wow. I've been waiting for that for
And they are re-releasing, they're having
years.
A new one, Spider-Man No Way Home, which is actually really cool because they're giving all the outtakes and special cuts and stuff with that movie. So
very
a lot of the Spider-Man fans are excited. But and sneak peeks. like you've never seen before all weekend long, thanks to National Cinema Day. I mean, $3 a movie, that's not bad. There's not very many movies that, are not worth $3. I mean, honk for Jesus, save your soul. You dropping $3 on that bad boy?
Probably not this weekend, no. I might wait for that
you
on demand.
You might as well get it on Saturday. You don't want to pay full price.
Might wait for that on demand.
And speaking of movies, Chris Rock said during a show in Phoenix that he had declined an offer to host the Academy Awards this year. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, he was big part of No,
Thank
Chris
you.
doesn't want that music played.
No.
He doesn't want that to happen.
No.
He has been on it. I mean, he's hosted a couple other times, but I mean, after the Will Smith thing last year,
Yeah.
where he was just a presenter, but Will came up. I mean, he's always going to be remembered for that. And to be honest, I watched it again, and we have it. You can run it, I guess, but I watched it again, and it's really, I'm really disappointed in Will Smith.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I loved Will Smith.
Lots of people are disappointed with him.
And
His Q rating, you know what that is? It's the number of people that consider you one of their favorite celebrities.
Yeah.
It was 39% going into that. It's 24% now. Went down
that's
15 points.
And that's too high still.
24? Yeah. It is disappointing.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was
and
embarrassing.
I know that they kicked him off. He quit the Academy, and the Academy said he can't be a part of anything for 10 years.
Ooh.
Okay,
Ooh.
right. I just feel like what?
He probably lost some movies from that, though. I'll bet.
I mean, absolutely.
I bet he was
good.
dropped from some movies.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. And it's not a film, but Back to Middle Earth, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of the Power.
Oh, yeah.
The most expensive TV show ever made hits Amazon Prime Friday.
Yeah. Yep.
Only $715 million.
$715 million?
For the TV show. Lord of the Rings.
For the whole
the
series.
Rings of Power, yeah.
Is that for 2 seasons? Is that for 5 seasons? How long is that? Like, that's not for just this season, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
$715 million?
I mean, you're talking about...
How do you make your money back
the
from that?
Rings of Power.
I know. Wow. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. And by the way, Kexi Cookies has your Lord of the Rings of Power cookie for you, too.
Do they?
Yeah, when you go to Kexi.com, you can get the honey pistachio.
I mean, look, if you're going to watch
Delicious.
it this weekend, why not watch it? What's
With a
better to
cookie.
watch it than having a Kexi cookie?
Thank you. Yes.
I mean,
that's
let's be
exactly
clear.
right. KEKSI.com. Kexi.com.
Sure, an autographed Hilrick and Bradsby bat used by baseball legend Babe Ruth with home run notches in it. I believe the notches, there were 8 notches. He had 8 home runs with this particular bat. Sold for $101.68 million, breaking the record for the most ever spent on a baseball
Just
bat.
$100,000?
No, $1,000,006.
Oh, $1 million.
$1.68 million, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's a
1.68
lot.
million.
That's a
Sure, the Honus Wagner card sold earlier this month for $7.25 million.
I don't get that. Why?
Sure, the Diego Maradonna's jersey from his Hand of God and Goal of the Century performance in the 86 World Cup went for $9.2 million.
I really don't get that.
But coming in at number 1, Mickey Mantle, 1952 Topps card, finest known example of its kind, $12.6 million.
Wow.
The most money anyone has ever paid for any type of sports item,
you think a
card,
bat
or memorabilia
that was used
would get more
by one of the greatest in the history of the
with baseball
game
notches on it, with
would
home run notches on
be
it.
way more valuable than a
It's
card.
signed and
Come on. Yeah,
I know.
come on.
I
That's
thought the same thing too.
really weird. But it got like 12 times as much
Oh,
on the
yeah.
baseball card.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it was perfect. The story behind the card is fascinating too, because this guy bought a whole box of the Topps cards from 52, and just went through them. I mean, there were 5,500 cards in the box.
Wow.
And it was unopened. 65 of the iconic Mantle cards.
Oh my gosh!
And it had, I think it had Jackie Robinson and Eddie Matthews in it. I mean, it was pretty incredible. He spent $150,000 on it. He said the guy said, "I've got this box."
Nice investment.
He said he borrowed $25,000. Bought it, got a security guy, and drove to Massachusetts or Pittsburgh, wherever it was, and with the $150,000 cash. Good thing he didn't get pulled over and have it taken away from him.
Right.
And bought the box of baseball cards. He said he was shit when he was opening them, shaking. You know, he couldn't believe he had them. And that was a long time ago. That was back in the 90s or something. But I mean,
and he just now sold it.
Well, he sold one card back and forth with one guy. This card was sold once or twice to another guy, and then he bought it back. And then the main guy, it's a stupid name. Mint Rosen, Mr. Mint Rosen, the collector. He died, and this guy finally was like, you know what? The family was like, well, you ought to sell it. Let's get it graded.
If you can get $12.5 million,
I mean, I've got so many cards
maybe sell
at
it.
my house, and I keep.
You should go through it.
Oh my gosh,
go through them.
I mean, there's got to be something for $12.6 million. Tell you that. I'll tell you what. Right now, come to think of it, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to throw it out there live on the air. I'll sell every one of my baseball cards today. Right now, I'll put them in a box. I'll take a picture of them. I won't touch them. I'll put them. I've got the container right now. I'll put them all in the container. $12.6 million.
Wow, that's
what?
Tempting offer.
You know what? $12 million today. $12 million.
You can knock 500,000 right off the top.
600. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't diminish what I'm knocking off. I'm trying to save you some money.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And today is the 25th anniversary of the death of Princess Diana.
Is it?
Candle in the wind.
Oh boy,
I know. But a Ford Escort driven by Princess Diana sold at auction this past weekend. How much you give me for that Ford Escort, Pat? How much you give me for that bad boy? Look at that. Look at
$500.
Look at that card. Look at that card. Exceptional condition.
$500.
24,961 miles on it. It's got royal pedigree.
I'll give $510.
It's got history.
$510.
Rarity, condition, mileage. $764,000.
Get out of here. Princess Di drove in a Ford Escort.
Yeah, no, she had other cars, that she was driven around in. You may be familiar with one. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. That wasn't a Ford Escort, but this one was, her car that she was just hers. She drove around for a while. So the buyer was not disclosed. He was from the UK, or she was from the UK, and they still have to pay another 12.5% premium buyer's fee on top of the $764,000 for the Ford Escort. Man,
wow,
makes you want to drive around a Ford Escort, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it sure does.
Actually, no.
Hey,
no.
Remember that $1.34 billion Mega Millions jackpot that was won in Illinois about 33 days ago on July 29th?
Yep.
No one has come forward to claim that ticket yet.
Wow.
So
how long do they have?
The second largest in the 20-year history of the game. So according to the rules, you can't, which obviously vary by state. It usually is a 90-day window. But I guess in Illinois you have a year to pick it up. But if you don't pick it up in the first 60 days, you don't get a choice whether you want the cash or the payments. They just if after the 60-day mark, you just get the payments.
Oh,
you don't
really?
get the cash out. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you think you bought the ticket, I would be searching for that bad boy.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, they got to know who it is, right? I mean,
I would think so. Yeah.
Every one of those places that you buy tickets from all have cameras. They all have timestamps on the tickets when they were sold, so you're able to see who purchased the tickets when they get printed out of the machine. So it's just a matter of waiting for whomever. Because if you don't sign it, like you may have purchased it, but if you dropped it on the way out, that's why it's a good rule of thumb. Whenever you see a lotto ticket or on the ground, you pick it up. Just a helpful tip from me. Always pick it up.
Okay.
And check it out. because it could be the
$1
billion winning ticket. And, just sign that bad boy and cash it in because you have to take it.
It's amazing nobody's come forward.
I know.
After a month?
I know.
Wow. Incredible.
It sure is. Sure is. Do we have time for a rocket? Yeah, as you know, Pat, no one supports zoos more than chewing the fat. Myself, Jeff Fisher.
Right, yeah.
Which is why this story fascinates me. Rocket the tortoise, 90-year-old tortoise, 500 pounds. But he's a master escape artist. He's broken out of enclosures all over the country. He was already 40 years old when he arrived at the Sedgwick County Zoo in 1972, along with Sweetie Pie the hippo and Stephanie the elephant, both who still remain at the zoo. And he was, incarcerated at this zoo in 2009. At age 79, he was 609 pounds, and he realized, hey, I can climb out of this enclosure. So, and they would come in and they would frequently find him wandering around outside of the zoo trying to leave. And they'd have to bring him back through the gate. And without heavy machinery, it took forever. So they were pissed. And so they shipped him off to the Tulsa Zoo. Same problem. So then they transferred them to a new state-of-the-art maximum security exhibit at the Bronx Zoo. Nope, we're not keeping him here either. So now Rocket is back at the zoo in Kansas, the Sedgwick County Zoo, because they have built a new Supermax. Supermax tortoise enclosure. So he's going nowhere now. So you don't have to be scared. Rocket the tortoise isn't out attacking people. He's a big old boy.
Huge.
He's a big old boy.
Yeah, he's really big.
Well over 500 pounds and about almost 100 years old, man.
Dang.
You're not just picking him up and flipping him over.
No,
you're not doing that.
Don't they live to 200 or something?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow. All right, 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray is here.
I am.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome and thank you for being here. 888-900-3393. Also, Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We got this huge box of stuff from... Let's see. Pathead Eric, Sons of Thunder 42, I guess, on Twitter. Says, hi, Pat. I should start out by asking, how's your day going so far? Since the first day I stumbled onto Pat Gray Unleashed last year while helping my girlfriend get her 2 kids off to school, it has become a must-watch every morning. That is awesome.
Oh, no doubt.
Your show has made the apocalypse far more tolerable with timely levity, and unlike Judy, I have an appreciation for sarcasm while you inform the masses about the burning world around us. So thank you for all that you, Keith, Rob, and even Biggie J do.
That's all right.
Biggie J.
Biggie J.
I like it.
I do. I do like that. Wow.
Now to the point of all this. With football season upon us, and as a diehard Bills fan, I wanted to share the hopeful breakfast of world champions Josh's Jacks. That's
nice. Yeah, Josh Allen stuff.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills could have a great season this year. I mean, they're primed for it. There's no doubt about that.
Here's Josh's Jacks.
Nice.
It's kind of hard to say, but it's kind of cool to be in a small market and be a big fish like Josh Allen and get your own cereal
that guy has
box.
gotten better and better.
Yeah,
every
he's turned
year,
out
man.
really good.
Awesome. I know.
Former Wyoming Cowboys quarterback Josh Allen. Everybody knew he had a big arm. He can throw the ball like 80 yards in the air. Something like I think he can throw almost the length of the football field.
There's not very many of us that can.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I would say
no, I hear what you're saying. I'd like to see you throw it the length of a football field. I would like that. And see it land on about, if you started the goal line, it would land at the 10, maybe. Not the opposing teams. Not the opposing team's 10. Your 10.
I could do 90. I mean,
I think you could go 10.
I don't want to pull the muscle out.
Yeah,
90.
yeah. Anyway, he says, plus, what breakfast is complete without avocados from Seabreeze Park Carnival Games near Rochester?
Nice. I thought we got avocados from Mexico, to be honest with you.
That's what I thought, but these aren't. But, yeah, these are avocados from whatever park.
Aw.
He said. Funky avocado. Okay?
Well, that was very nice.
Yeah, it was. Enjoy. And in the words of Marv Levy, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Yep.
No place.
Thanks a lot, Eric. That's really cool. And I'm looking forward to trying that breakfast cereal.
A lot of people quoting Marv Levy these days.
That's true. And it's very true. But it does remind you that football season is upon us.
I know.
Got
it's
the Missouri,
here, baby.
Missouri taking on Louisiana Tech this weekend. BYU plays South
I think
Florida.
we play Thursday night. I think we play
you do?
tomorrow night, yeah.
Oh. Well, that's really soon then.
Yeah, I think that's tomorrow night.
You going to be watching? You going to watch it?
You won't be able to tear me away.
Okay.
Our president is speaking, so they take.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a tough choice.
That
then.
is
tough
that
choice.
Is a very tough choice.
Huh,
yeah, they
let's
play
see.
tomorrow night.
Do I want to pull every hair in my head out,
or
do I want to watch Missouri
game.
win? Yeah, because Missouri is going to start out 3-0. We decided.
Yes, yeah, we already went through,
and wind up 6-6 probably. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of year they have. Now BYU's first game is just South Florida, and they returned just about everybody, and they got 13 transfers from Power 5 programs. So they're supposedly much improved.
Recruiting, yeah.
Much
Plus
improved.
they play at Raymond James, and everybody thinks they're going to get rub elbows with Tom.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that'll happen. And so the next week, we have Baylor. So that's a big game.
Oh.
Defending Big 12 champion Baylor.
The gloves come off.
Week after that,
last
Oregon.
year there was a little issue
with what?
Down there at the Baylor game, was there not?
Down at the Baylor game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Didn't we have some Mormon issues?
Oh,
some
I think
BYU
we did.
Issues at Baylor down at Waco? I think we did.
I think the fans were doing anti-Mormon stuff or whatever. I think so. Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of which, did you?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Then there's the big controversy that happened in Provo at a women's volleyball game last weekend. BYU hosted a tournament, which they won. They crushed everybody they played. But they played Duke at one point, and supposedly there was an issue with somebody in the audience, somebody in the crowd yelling racial slurs at one of the Duke players every time she served.
Yeah, it was Rachel Richardson, yes.
Okay, so there's 5,500 people at this volleyball game, and one person is screaming racial slurs, and nobody does anything.
Right.
It doesn't add up to me. First of all, that I can't even fathom that happening at BYU.
Not in today's world.
Not at BYU.
Not in today's world.
I've never seen it. I've never heard of it happening at a BYU event.
Plus, without anything else happening at all, this has happened multiple times.
What has? Their claim?
Yes.
Oh, you're kidding. So they've claimed that people yelled at her
this
before.
game. This person hollered racial slurs multiple times throughout the game.
Yes, because every time she served, she was supposedly hassled like that.
And no one
did anything.
There's no video. There's no audio. I mean,
well, what are you going to take video with? I mean, it's so hard to get video nowadays.
Are you going to carry the big cameras around?
No, nobody's doing that.
And were the games televised at all? Because there was a tournament, right?
There was a tournament
for women's volleyball.
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
And women's volleyball is very big at BYU.
They don't cover that.
No, they don't cover that.
They don't record athletic events.
And certainly nobody took a phone where you could. I mean, phones are for calling people and talking to them. They're not recording devices. Am I right?
Yes.
This is 1992,
100%.
right?
Hello,
it's
you're
1992.
Right, yeah.
So it was suspicious from the very beginning.
Yes.
Where the first thing I thought is, this didn't happen. It's another of those
Me too.
hoaxes. It didn't happen.
And John Ziegler, our friend, had been all over he started a Twitter thread because of the story, because he, like us,
was skeptical.
Said,
doesn't make
doesn't
sense.
Sound right.
Here's what he said. Here's what we're apparently supposed to believe about what happened in the racist BYU Duke volleyball incident. A white man repeatedly used a racial slur, possibly the N-word. That's what we're led to believe. Yes. To heckle a black Duke player and threatened her in front of a large crowd. Right.
Uh-huh.
So they threatened her by saying, I'll see you at the bus or something to that effect.
Watch yourself.
Yeah, watch your back as you go to the bus. Somehow, he writes, this outrage was allowed to go on, and no one made any effort to videotape it because, after all, BYU is mostly white racist. So this is what is expected.
Yes.
Also, the racist just happened to target a player who, based on her Twitter, is very convinced we're a racist country and has a godmother who is running for political office, who was able to make this a very public issue by dramatically tweeting about it, though it's unclear if she was actually there. She wasn't. But oddly, both of them seem to be perfectly fine with the racist somehow not yet being publicly outed or shamed. Even though they and the whole Duke team apparently would have no problem identifying them. Of course, the white kids at BYU are all protecting the racist, which would not happen. You know it wouldn't happen.
No
Somebody
way.
in that audience is going to say, what are you doing, man? Stop it. And security, which was there, would have ushered them out.
Yes.
BYU has bent over backwards to condemn what happened, but without any real details of the matter. I hope this answers any questions you have about this horrible incident, which has absolutely zero red flags and all makes perfect sense, which is why the always reliable news sport media are running hard with this narrative, confident that nothing could possibly be wrong with it.
Right. And it
didn't happen.
No, and then they posted when last night's behavior was initially reported by Duke, there was no individual pointed out. The BYU security and event management efforts, they were not able to identify a perpetrator of the racial slurs. It wasn't until after the game that an individual was identified by Duke who they believed were uttering the slurs and exhibiting problematic behavior.
But there's absolutely no
and that
audio
was by voice.
or video of it.
Right, and
None.
that was by voice, not face. They said they heard this guy's voice and said, "Oh, that's him." That's
Unreal.
him.
Unreal.
So then John reached out to this ESPN host who was all over the story and was interviewing Rachel, and this particular host blocked him, wouldn't receive any emails, nothing. He didn't want anything to do, the host from ESPN. So, of course, they're running with the story.
Of course. Of course.
So then
there's nothing ESPN loves more than a racial story.
Oh, my gosh.
A global warming story. Any of that, they're all over it. This sports network is all over it. Now, it's strange, though, that ESPN, which has a great relationship with BYU and broadcasts their football games, would just jump right in on this story without any evidence.
It's strange that would happen.
Happening.
I wonder why that would be.
I mean, people claim this stuff all the time. It doesn't mean it really happened. How many times have we seen these racial hoaxes over and over and over again?
Well, we find out now in an article that I read through the Cougar Chronicle. So,
okay.
Whatever. Okay. But the headline is exclusive. Racist comments at BYU volleyball game never happened.
Just what I thought.
I know.
Exactly what we
thought. Apparently, officials and BYU coaching staff were made aware of the incident during the game, but failed to take necessary steps. No. They pointed out, you can see, apparently Rachel Richardson, served in front of the student section twice in the game.
Okay.
Only twice. And they were saying that it was coming from the student section. A police officer can be seen standing. There's a picture of her getting ready to serve with the police officer.
So they put a police officer there
to look at the student section and to make sure that it was okay.
Right.
Because she complained and said she thought she heard a racist comment. Okay.
Man.
The bigger story happens after, but during the game, she thought no one heard anything. Okay. There was no problem. Nothing.
But they heard that there was an issue, so they positioned a police officer near them, which the godmother claimed afterwards BYU did nothing. Well, yeah, they did. They positioned a police officer there to catch the person if they did.
Correct.
If they did anything.
And
they didn't.
We're to believe that if this were to have happened, no one in this arena that holds 6,000 people, jam-packed for this tournament.
5,000 actually. It was overcrowded. It was, yeah. So there is an issue with the fire marshal. We'll have to get hold of the fire marshal on that because capacity where they play volleyball is 5,000. So anyway,
it's standing room. You don't count that. You don't count those people. Then where was I? Oh, she said that she heard something and they posted someone. So we're to believe that nobody did anything. Nobody said anything. 5,499 other people said, "Yo,
stop it!
What are you doing?"
No, because every one of those 5,500 people, are nasty white racists.
Right. So now we find out the person that they got rid of was this mentally challenged fan who approached a Duke player, and that's when he came out onto the floor, and the Duke player was like, "Oh, that's his voice. That's the one." So they banned. So they banned
a mentally challenged person.
Yes, and they banned him not for slurs, but for interfering with visiting guests. All right. Okay. The BYU athletic staff went through footage of the entire game, and the man Duke identified was never seated in the student section. Her story doesn't add up. BYU banned an innocent man. Nobody heard anything. Not a single witness.
Amazing.
Nothing. But of course, the university, had to
apologize.
All okay. The players were saying that they had felt unsafe.
Oh, geez.
And I know that. What was the line from? And the candidate, her godmother, got it started all up talking about it. Who wasn't there? We talked about. She's running for some judgeship
here in Dallas, right?
Yeah, in Fort Worth and Tarrant County. Yeah,
yeah.
And BYU athletics was sure to indicate that we understand that the Duke players' experience is what matters here.
No, that's.
I feel like
I'm
that's
sorry.
not. No.
I mean, I love you, BYU, and all your officials. But no, if their experience is a lie, that's not what is important.
No.
If she's making this up, which apparently she is, then that's not all that matters here. And what matters is the truth.
And I watched an interview with her, and we can play a little bit if you want. She doesn't give any detail. I mean, if this would actually happen.
Yeah,
there would be strong details in the story.
We have her comments on this. Let's see it. Let's see it.
I believe that meeting anger with anger, it just starts a cycle of more anger. As a young Black woman in America, I know I don't have the privilege of reacting all the time, or else it paints face of, oh, you're just another angry Black woman. I felt as though responding to it in the way that I did would help the greater purpose.
Did you?
And that's creating awareness, and that's
creating
allowing
awareness
everyone
something that didn't happen
from both
that's
sides.
Good. That's really good.
To better see the fact that we should all be working towards a common goal. We shouldn't be trying to create two sides.
Okay.
What I want the most out of this, one, is to raise awareness, and two, to hopefully encourage
and to
institutions
create a problem
such
where
as
there's
BYU
no
and
problem.
others to start really putting in those efforts and the funds to educate.
Right, because BYU doesn't make any effort. They don't make any effort to reach out to people or do anything. My gosh, that's all they do. That's all they do at BYU is reach out to people.
Really?
Because they're constantly under attack like this.
I know.
Constantly.
But I will say, at some point, don't you have to say...
That pisses me off.
How about no?
Yeah, how about no?
At some point, you have to say, no, all right, no, look.
Hey, Puddin.
This didn't happen.
Did not happen. What does that mean to you? Does that mean something to you? And your Black Lives Matter
I know you
t-shirt?
I know you believe, you say that you want to all work together. But let's work together in not lying. How about that?
Would that be a
let's
good
work together at that.
How about we get to the truth? How about that? How about you got your ass kicked and you're pissed, and so you created a story that will get some mileage for you. That's great.
And maybe she did think that she heard something during the
possible.
game. Maybe she did. But
nobody else heard it.
Let's go back. BYU did react. Right? The coaches and the staff did react. They sent an officer to the student section and said, hey, okay, wow, really?
Yes.
Nobody else heard it. We'll send a police officer over there to stand by the student section to make sure that it doesn't happen again, if it happened at all. Because we don't want anything like that to happen.
Right.
And so they did react. And
did.
yet, then we wait until after the game to complain some more.
And they go through all the video. They went through
nothing.
the whole thing, listening for this racial slur.
Couldn't hear it.
Nothing. So, I don't know. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating.
And now 499 people have been arrested thanks to the fire marshal because there were too many.
Yeah.
They've documented who they were.
And that's on me because I just ratted them out. Okay, so I apologize, BYU. All right. If you're a dog owner, you love your pet, they're part of the family, you want them to be happy and healthy and active. And that's where Rough Greens comes in. Rough Greens is not a dog food. It's a dog food supplement you sprinkle on top of whatever it is you feed your dog. Because your dog's food is dead food. It's that if it's that dry kibble stuff that you get in the store, it's been sterilized, so all the nutrients are burned out of it. But it will last on the shelf for 3 years. So you got that going for you. So what it essentially does is fill up your dog's stomach, but doesn't do them a lot of good. So that's where Rough Greens comes in. It brings in all the vitamins and minerals, the probiotics and antioxidants that your dog needs. Most dogs love this stuff right off the bat. Mine certainly did. If you'd like to find out first before you jump in with both feet whether your dog is going to love it, Rough Greens want you to do just that. So they're willing to send you a free small bag for your dog to try out for a day or two, and all you cover is the shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com, ruffgreens.com, or call 833-783-3364 for your free bag. 833-783-3364 or roughgreens.com.
Pat Gray returns on the Blaze Radio Network.
All right, I have one more BYU bone to pick. Probably beating a dead horse here, but
Pat's BYU bone
yes.
to pick.
Since I was already picking a bone, let's pick one more bone. Every time BYU is about to have a great season, you always know BYU is going to be good when people start talking about the age situation.
Again?
Oh, they're so old.
No.
They're old. We have
got
like 30 grandparents on this team. Okay. All right. Yeah, they want an excuse. Okay, they're too old, so they beat up on a bunch of boys. Really? Okay, the average difference is usually about 6 months. I don't know what it is on this year's team. I haven't checked, but it's almost always. They average.
I mean, it's always within a year or so.
6
Big
months.
deal.
Yes. But the other thing is, and I will say one article I read about them playing South Florida this weekend. The South Florida coach actually didn't buy into it, but the media is always on this.
They keep hammering it. Yeah.
So the USF coach, to his credit, said, "We're taking on a really talented team. The more you dive in and really study BYU, I mean, this is probably one of the best teams they've had in the last 5 or 6 years. I think a lot longer than that, but."
Really?
They've got 19 returning starters and a lot of experience coming back on a team that won 10 games last year and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But everybody else is on the age thing. And I just don't understand how when a guy goes on a 2-year mission, he can't play football. He can't train. I mean, they might work out in the morning for half an hour. But they put football on hold for 2 years. So when BYU signs a promising recruit out of high school, many times, probably 8 out of 10 times, they're going on a mission. You know you're not going to have that player for 2 years. Tell me how that's a desirable situation.
Well, right now, I don't want you to bog us down with facts. I just want you to realize that those players are
older. Yeah.
They're a lot older.
Let's talk about how
they're gaining man strength.
How they come back off of their mission completely out of shape, haven't played
football. You just
got done
in 2
said
years. They work out in the morning.
They might, but they're usually
about?
Way out of shape. It takes them another year because almost every time they come back from their mission, they're redshirted because they need another year to get back in shape.
Yeah. Which makes them another year older. I don't know if you know that.
I mean, what is the advantage here? Maturity? Does maturity win football games? I'm just tired of it. All right. That's my piece. I had to say my piece.
Okay.
All right.
BYU's bone to pick. That's great.
More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
If it's good enough for them, is it good enough for you?
Now back to Pat Gray Unleashed.
No, you look like an idiot. It's true.
With some tweets. I'm a lickin' butter tweets about those baseball cards that brought in so much money. For $12.6 million, did the Mantle card at least come with the gum? Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
If it's unopened, there should be gum in there.
I'll tell you what. I mentioned that I'm going to sell my my box container of cards for $12 million today and today only. All right, but
you're going to throw in the
I'll
gum?
throw in some gum.
Oh, wow.
Fine, I'll throw
Very
in some
generous.
bubble gum.
Very generous, Jeffy.
You're welcome.
Postmaster Jeffy. Top Gun Maverick had a budget of $170 million and brought in $1.3 billion and counting. Season 1 of Lord of the Rings has a budget of $715 million. Hope they sell a lot of new Prime subscriptions. Yeah, they're going to have to get back that money.
And that's what you were saying. You know, how do they
you
afford that? Well, first of all, it's Prime. I mean, Amazon's got more money than they know what to do with. But I feel like this is setting up, they've got their movie theater now, the Amazon movie studios, and they've never broken up the Prime membership. And I hate saying this out loud, and I've said it a couple times on Chewing the Fat, so it's already out there, and they're going to break that off.
That would suck.
So between your Prime membership and the videos, the movies and stuff, so it's going to be two separate fees for you
now
to be a part of.
Now, you're saying this as if it's a done deal, and they haven't even proposed this yet. So I just want to make that clear. Amazon's not saying they're going to do that. To my knowledge,
I'm telling you,
you're telling us that they're going to do that. Okay.
When they do that, when Jeff Bezos lights up his cigar on his new yacht, with the wife looking at him over there on the second yacht with her helicopter pad, and he says, "We got
to break this up.
We're going to break this bad boy up." No, they have not. I have not read anywhere that they were throwing that out. Yeah, but it's got to happen. It has to. They can't. They'd have to break it up. There's no way that they can keep documenting it like that.
When we start talking about Amazon Prime, their movie studio, it just always boggles my mind how Amazon started. It was what, like books?
Yeah,
you sold books online.
Out of the garage.
That's it. And then all of a sudden, then you start getting movies online, and everybody was getting a little excited about that because there was nothing to return. You didn't have to bother with that. That was great.
Yeah. Well, Netflix.
Then they start their own studios, start doing original
25,
content.
Right? Netflix turns 25.
Netflix and Amazon both started so humbly, and look at them now. Look at them now. Jeffy's hungry staring eyes tweets. Wait, we can't get women's volleyball on ESPN2 rather than rock skipping, cornhole, or smash ball.
Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with those sports.
No, those are
all right.
They're great sports. You're right.
Thank you. Tell me you don't enjoy playing them.
Oh, cornhole.
You can't. That's what I thought.
Riveting to watch. Is that bag going to go in the hole or just get close?
Some of those guys and gals, pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I
what
love
a
the
skill.
I like
a skill. It is. It's an incredible.
I love the strategy.
Athletic skill.
I love the strategy that they have where they set them off to the side and then they throw so that knocks them both
something
in.
might knock them in.
Yeah, that's good strategy.
Yeah. Or you're trying to block the hole so nobody can get in.
But then in the end,
you have to drop it directly in there. Yeah. So it's really exciting.
That's what's me, man.
No, I'm not. That's
good.
There's no question. That's riveting. From Carl Smith about Josh Allen and the speeding bullets that are 5 times faster from an AR-15. Okay, yes, but can Josh throw a ball as fast as a bullet from an AR-15?
Oh.
No, I don't think so.
No one can.
I don't think so. Those are just death machines. The AR-15 is just a death machine.
Thank you.
There's no who needs one?
We've got to get rid of them. Is what
who
we
needs
have to
one?
do.
You can't go up against the U.S. military with an AR-15. He just doesn't. Biden is always talking about that. How, your AR-15 is going to be meaningless. If you're really using it, if you think you need one because the government's going to be corrupt, that's not going to help you. Well, of course it is. If 300 million people have guns and the U.S. government ever got that malicious, the guns would help.
Yes, it would, and that's a strong argument that's been made too, right? If there was a serious gun issue in this country for the government, you'd know it already,
right?
I mean, if these NRA members were a real problem and as dangerous as the NRA is, according to this president,
yeah, he wouldn't have to tell us about it. We'd see it every day in the news.
Yes, we would,
every stinking day. So he's agonizing. So between his, you can't fight the military we have, you're just proving our point that you think that the U.S. government is so powerful, there's no going against it ever, when that's what our founding fathers intended for us to be able to do if we needed to. It was never about hunting, but he always does the hunting thing with the deer in Kevlar, and that you can't buy a cannon, which of course you can't.
Biden misleads.
Or he could. Yeah, every time. He's just such a liar. All right, there's a coalition of more than 90 American pastors from different denominations that have boldly declared they will never again comply with the government orders to close their churches.
And I love this.
I do too, but where were you, I don't know, when those orders came?
Thank you.
Most of them closed their churches. Taking a biblical rallying cry from Acts 5:29, these clergymen say, we must obey God rather than men. And they've signed on to a statement declaring that the government violated the U.S. Constitution by ordering churches to cease meeting during the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's all true.
Absolutely.
And they should sign this order. And they should.
And there's not a legitimate pastor in this country that shouldn't sign on to this thing. 100%. I mean, that's, you had no business closing your churches. For the government had no business telling them they had to shut down.
That's right.
First of all.
The purpose of the document is to provide a muster point for clergy, said Pastor Stephen Mannion of the Faith United Methodist Church in Lancaster, New York. The Acts 5:29 statement declares to the government, don't try to close the church again. It won't go so well next time. What are you saying? Are you threatening the U.S. government? Do you know that the U.S. military has tanks? There's nothing you could do against them. That's just a silly statement, my friend. Now, I'm glad to see this.
Yes,
I just wish it would have come a long time ago. Should have come when it was happening. No, we're not closing
this is great.
We're not doing it.
No.
And I think a few did, but mostly everybody complied.
Yes, they did. And they even, I mean, we had some pastors that tried to, at least go around and have services, in the parking lot and drive through and put up radio signals, which was all great, all wonderful, because at least they're trying to, get their message out there. But to have their church closed like that, I'm sorry, no. It should have never happened.
No, absolutely not.
It should not have happened, and they should not have allowed it. I know that we didn't want people to die, and we were all scared out of our minds, and it was 15 days to flatten the curve.
Right.
Are we done with those 15 days yet?
No.
Has the curve been
we need
flattened?
15 more.
Okay. Just 15 more, though?
Yeah,
all right. Then then fine. Close for another 15 days.
I've been watching the numbers, the COVID cases. This is the rate of infection. On average, right now, it's 90,668 a day. So that's way down from, I think a couple of weeks ago, it was 128,000 a day average.
Yeah.
And the death rate, the 7-day average is 471. Last year was 1,348 at this time. So we're doing better, way better. I mean, you'd like the infection numbers to be even lower than this. But I think we're at the point where everybody should just be doing what they normally do.
I mean, and we darn near are.
Yeah,
right? I
think so.
We have events. I mean, the numbers are going to stay steady as long as there is the virus and people are still gathering. It's just the way it is. And then we have, as long as we're allowing, I don't know, are we still allowing people into the country across the border?
Yes. I believe we are.
Knock on the great big beautiful door.
Yes.
That's open to them. And
they're not even knocking on the door.
Really?
Yeah, no. They're going around it.
That seems rude.
It does seem rude, doesn't it? It almost seems like they don't respect our laws.
I mean, as KGP said yesterday, it's not as if they just walk.
No, yeah, it is. It actually is. So
anyway, I mean, so those numbers is if we can keep a handle on the low numbers without them being so deadly, the virus has turned into a less deadly weapon. So I mean, yeah, people are like, okay,
yeah.
I mean, look, I got the vaccine, which, the double dose of Moderna. I've not been boosted, and I still got COVID, and it pisses me off. But I guess I should have. I'm thankful. I'm thankful.
Well, it would have been so much worse.
I'm thankful.
You would be dead right now had you not gotten the vaccine.
What a shame that would be, I'll tell you that.
It would be. It'd be a darn shame. We'd all mourn. I bet like for 10, 15 minutes. A good, solid 10 to 15 minutes.
That's so nice of you.
Yeah.
I mean that.
Of serious, not serious, but mild mourning.
How long for the serious? How long are you giving?
No, there wouldn't be any serious.
Oh,
it would just be mild.
Okay.
For those 10 to 15 minutes.
All right, well.
But it's not like we would just immediately move on.
You're getting 15 whole minutes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Let's shut up.
This is kind of interesting, too. Greg Gutfeld from Fox News, he's on at what? I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning or something.
No, he's on. He comes on, I think, 10 o'clock, right?
Is
10
it
o'clock
10?
Eastern?
Really?
I think it's 10 o'clock Eastern, yeah.
All right. No, he comes on at 11 o'clock Eastern on Fox News. So 11 Eastern.
All right, okay, because you've got Tucker, Sean, and what's her face?
Right.
Laura
and then
Ingraham.
Greg.
Yeah, Laura.
He became the first non-broadcast network late night show to defeat ABC, CBS, and NBC for an entire month.
Good.
Isn't that great?
Good.
That's really something. He's 18 months into his run, and he topped every program among his competition. He averaged 2.19 million viewers for the month, edging out The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. I don't get it.
He is horrific.
Don't get it. The worst. The Late Show finished a close second with an average. So Gutfeld had 2.19. He had 2.15. But
still,
I mean, a win's a win.
Well, that's right. We're taking that win. He's definitely taking it.
Incredible. Now, Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel were way behind, but Colbert came close to him. But we're talking about Fox. I mean it's cable.
Well, people are dying for some kind of entertainment that are
they are.
Funny, right? And really, I mean, those shows. I mean, once they became mouthpieces for
the administration,
for the left or the administration. I mean, I feel like they just don't matter. They're just not part of it, and they just keep continuing.
People
They're not
are
funny.
Sick of it. They're not.
They're not. I mean, Stephen Colbert does not. I'm sorry. He does not have a funny bone in his body.
No joke.
I don't.
No joke.
No joke.
No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. And I don't think he is either, because he's not funny. So he must not be joking. But yeah, he's terrible. He's terrible.
He's just terrible.
I don't understand how he became
either.
number one for so long.
And they all kowtow to him. The stars show up. And they I can't believe it.
I mean, I was amazed CBS put him in when Letterman left. I thought, that's about the worst decision you could ever make. Then it turns out he's number one.
He's the number one guy.
Unreal. Oh, he's so bad. Just so bad. All right. The other thing is, it's pretty amazing right now. Ukraine has launched this counterattack with, some of our weapons and a lot of our money.
Yeah.
And they've broken through Russia's first line of defense in a spectacular fight back in a key occupied area. Forces yesterday launched a huge offensive in the southern Kherson region, which has been seized by the Russians for a while. Meanwhile, world boxing champion Alexander Usyk was seen back in his homeland for the first time since beating Brit Anthony Joshua this month. Oh, well, that's great. The push is part of a long-awaited fight back, though, being launched by the chief captains in Kyiv in an attempt to retake the south of the country. It follows weeks of Ukrainian attacks aimed at cutting off Russian forces from their main supply routes.
It's about time. It's about time that they start utilizing some of what we're giving them.
I think so, too. Yeah.
And start putting an end to this thing.
Right.
I mean...
drive them out, and let's be done with it.
Mikhail Gorbachev went down fighting in the war. Ukraine, I think Ukraine dropped him yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. He was in the front
Mikhail
lines.
was on the front.
He was on the front line.
That's what I thought.
91-year-old Mikhail Gorbachev. Still in there swinging for Russia.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Really good. But he did die yesterday. What did he die of? Just old age, probably.
Yeah, he was in the hospital in Moscow. Okay. I don't know that they actually...
So he wasn't fighting?
No, I guess not.
All right.
I mean, I'm surprised
What a baby.
I'm surprised that Vlad didn't send him to the front line, to be honest with you, because Mikhail was not the old school Russian. Right? I mean, he was the one that helped end the Cold War, right?
Tore down the wall.
Yeah.
Reagan told him to, and he did. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And Vlad, is never like that at all.
No.
So I'm sure that
he wants to get the band back together.
Yeah.
He wants all those satellite nations back. I hope and pray that doesn't happen, but man, he wants it badly. He really does.
He was suffering from kidney
illness.
problems, dialysis, and confined to the clinic during the COVID pandemic. So, he's sick. All right, leave him there.
And that's what they did. Actually, yeah, that's what they did.
I'm surprised. I really am surprised Vlad didn't say, "Well, take him to the front line. Let him fight."
Couldn't have done worse than many of the Russian soldiers were doing,
right.
As we've seen. I mean, the estimates of how many losses Russia has suffered, both in humans and in equipment, is incredible. Incredible, some of those numbers. 40,000 plus soldiers gone. Thousands and thousands of military vehicles and aircraft and all manner of weaponry.
There were reports that they were sending, the reason that their generals and the head guys were up at the front line is because they were there to keep an eye on the soldiers that were wounding themselves to get out of fighting.
Oof.
I mean, those was reported. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know.
100%
I've seen those
true,
reports.
But the reports were there.
I bet it is. It's not exactly the force we thought it was.
No, it was not.
Which is good, frankly. I'm all about that. All right, 888-900-3393. Did Chris Rock have something to say about the Will Smith altercation?
No, that was just what I was talking about in chewing. When he said that he wasn't going to do the Academy Awards anymore, and it was the video of him getting slapped. But that's when we were talking about Will Smith and during the chewing. Yeah. So I mean, it's nothing. He claimed this past weekend that he said no after being asked by the Academy.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't think I'd want to do that again either.
No way, screw you.
Would you, after what happened?
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's a huge deal.
Not doing it.
It's a big deal. I mean, if he could joke about it, if he could make some jokes about it, I would say yes. But I don't know that they want him to.
Were you here when we played the Will Smith video where he was apologizing to his fans and to Chris Rock?
I mean, I've seen those. I've seen his apologies.
And he said, people ask me why haven't I apologized to Chris Rock, and he said, I have, but he has informed me that he's not ready yet. So it sounds like Chris Rock is still, there's still
he should
some.
Be.
Yeah,
you know what? He should be.
Yes.
Screw you, Will Smith. That's what I'm saying. We were saying his likability numbers were down like
15 points.
Right. Should be more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Should be more. That was ridiculous. When you watch that clip, I mean, I watched the clip, and we can play it if you want because I had it for chewing and we just never got to it. But I watched that clip of Academy Awards from the start of the joke to Will going up on stage, and it was just, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
It was a joke about your wife and
Right.
having short hair, and everybody kind of laughed except for her at the very beginning.
She's got some kind of condition.
Yeah, she's got like propecia or something.
Yeah. She's got a propecia. Isn't that what you take for the hair condition?
Yes.
Yeah. Do we know actually she
It's
does
called
have
like
propecia?
it's called like alopecia.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Chris had to say.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, He can't win.
Right. So he sets that joke up. He can't win.
Okay.
The husband and wife. Right.
Like,
He can't win.
Lord.
And now he's got the husband and wife with Will.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
See, now Will laughs.
Yeah, he laughs.
But she's like,
Yeah, she didn't like it, but he laughed.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard.
What are you doing?
Boom!
Oh, wow.
Ooh, jeez.
Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Oh.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
Uncomfortable.
Very.
Okay.
Uncomfortable.
I mean, and there were reports of maybe there was maybe a little affair in the past
With Chris Rock and his wife?
Yeah. So
Really?
maybe this was one of the straws that broke the camel's back.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Although, aren't they? I mean, they're rumored at least to have an open relationship.
Sure.
So
I know, but sometimes
that might have been one of the guys she was open with,
and a little bit too open for Will's taste.
Apparently,
I don't know.
We don't know.
No, we don't.
We don't. Just
and I haven't listened to Checkered Tabletop or whatever the name of her Facebook show is that she does. That's getting all the huge numbers. His wife has the red table talk, red something.
Okay.
On Facebook that she does all the time. And she has all the stars come by and chit chat. And her mom's with her and everything. But it's just very uncomfortable and agonizing. And I think Will should be down more than to 24. He'd be down 10 maybe. Because I love Will Smith, or I did.
Yeah, I liked
him. But that
too.
right there is unbelievable to me.
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
And back to Chris Rock, and he was just a presenter there.
Right.
He's hosted a couple other times. I mean, you feel like, do you want to host the whole thing after that?
No,
I don't think so. No, I think that's a solid no.
Don't think you do. Okay. Coming up on Overtime, we got some great stuff for you. And between Overtime and Unleashed tomorrow, we're going to get to this story about a Nobel Prize winner in physiology and medicine speaking out about this trans situation. How dare she? How dare you say anything about it? How dare you bring science into this? Who do you think you are?
Is that our stand?
Yes, that's our stand. That's our stand. And we're gonna
good.
We're gonna plant our flag right there.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
She tackles
Sick
the
of
claim.
science.
She tackles what she calls unscientific. The claim that there are many genders.
Huh.
What a hater. What a hateful, nasty, mean person who has won a Nobel Prize, by the way. So we'll get into that, tell you what she had to say, and lots more coming up.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.